Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I have to say before we get into the video itself, one of the really cool, neat things about being a really small, micro, tiny creator is that one person can make a request for a video and you can honestly and truly say that it was a highly requested subject. So without further ado, let's get into the very highly requested by one person. Basic skincare routine 101. Okay, so my friend Amanda came to me a few weeks ago and had a question. At first she was just going to ask me for it, and then she said, no, I think this would be a really good video idea. And what she said was skincare for the newly wrinkled. But when we got a little bit more into the information gathering, I found out that she really didn't have a skincare routine at all, to the point where there were nights that she did not cleanse her face, which appropriately horrified me. But I realized that, there are people who don't know a whole lot about skincare, and I can understand why. I'll give you a little background on me. I first heard about a woman named Paula back in the late 80s when I was in high school. And Paula would later go on to start a company called Paula's Choice. And you may have heard of the company. They are a skincare company. They also have a website called Beautypedia that has a lot of great basic information about ingredients and things like that. So Paula at that time in the late 80s had been working on debunking a lot of the myths and the hype that the beauty and cosmetic industry was heaping on mostly women, especially at that time. It was very much female-centered, not quite as much so now, but at that time very much centered on women and very much centered on lots of hype and lots of inflated claims and craziness like that. And she would go in and she would test products, and she would go in and really search out the ingredients and figure out what each ingredient was doing and what it was for, and was exploding a lot of that myth and hyperbole that surrounded skincare and cosmetics, etc., etc. So that's where I came from. I learned about her, I became interested in it, and over the years I've kept up with this information. I find it really interesting. I really enjoy knowing about skincare and getting good information and finding out what the ingredients do and what their benefits are and what things are better to avoid and why we should avoid them and all that fun stuff. So I really enjoy skincare, and I have kept up on the information as much as a layperson can. But there are a lot of people who don't, and I can completely understand why, because when I started doing research for this video, I just typed basic skincare routine into Google and proceeded to come back with 141 million results. Now I can totally understand why a person can look at that and get completely overwhelmed. And just looking at that page of results and all of the different articles that came back and how a lot of the titles contradicted each other. One article is talking about 6 steps to a skincare routine, and some of those steps have multiple products, while another article is telling you there's only 3 things you need to do. It's incredible, and several of the articles mention dermatologists, and then other ones are about these are the best skincare routines for different skin types. It's overwhelming. So as I was working on this, I realized that I could go on and on for a long time about skincare, but really, if you are starting from nothing, like my friend Amanda was, if you're starting from zero, you're starting from scratch, you're completely overwhelmed, you honestly don't know what to use, you need to start with the absolute basics. And what I discovered from reading all of these different things, there were 2 articles that really impressed me the most. One of them, which came as no surprise to me, was from the Paula's Choice website, and it's a basic skincare routine article, and I'll link that down below. The second one was a little more surprising, and that was from the New York Times, which granted is the paper of record, but I think of it as the paper of record for other subjects, not so much skincare. But I actually found their article really interesting as well. It goes into more detail. Actually, both of them go into detail on more advanced things, but as far as the basics, you can honestly just focus on 3 steps in the morning and 3 steps in the evening. And Paula's Choice makes it very, very simple as far as what they recommend for those 3 steps. In the morning, you're going to want to cleanse, you're going to want to exfoliate, and then you're going to want to use a moisturizer with sunscreen. And then in the evening, you again are going to want to cleanse, exfoliate, and use a moisturizer. The only difference being that moisturizer in the evening is not going to have SPF or sun protection. And that's basically all they recommend. The New York Times article recommends a toner in place of the exfoliator. But really it comes down to a personal preference. So honestly, you could start with 3 to 4 products. Let's say in the morning you decide you're going to cleanse, you're going to use an exfoliator or a toner, and then you use your SPF, whether that be a moisturizer with SPF or just a straight up SPF. In the evening, you're going to cleanse. You can use both the toner and the exfoliator, or just one or the other, and then use your moisturizer without sunscreen. And that's pretty much the basis for a very simple but very effective skincare routine. So let's get into a little more detail on each of those steps. And I'm going to go with the Paula's Choice idea, and I'll talk a little bit about toners, but because I think that one is the simplest one. So cleanser, that's pretty self-explanatory. Everybody needs to clean their face. Even if you're not wearing makeup, over the course of the day, your skin is picking up dirt and debris and pollution and all sorts of nasty stuff from the air around us. So you're going to want to clean. Especially if you're wearing makeup, you need to clean 100%. So you're going to want to clean your face. And even in the morning. Now, if you have a drier skin type, then you may want to use something. You may not want to clean with like a cleanser. Some people will just splash their face with water or use a micellar water or something like that. But again, we don't need to get really complicated. If you feel like you need to clean it in the morning, then go ahead and just give a light cleaning to it. And then when you're done with that, you're going to want to use an exfoliant. And an exfoliant can either be a physical exfoliant like a washcloth or a scrub that has very gentle scrubbing action. Please don't use walnut husks or anything like that. But I'll do a future video on exfoliants and get into way more detail, but just make sure it's a gentle exfoliant, or it can be a chemical exfoliant like AHA or BHA. Again, you can just keep it very simple, look for a very basic exfoliant, or just use a washcloth to get those dead skin cells off. All right, so you've cleansed, you've exfoliated, and then your final step is going to be to moisturize, because that moisturizer is going to help keep beneficial ingredients in your skin. It's going to help give a protective barrier to your skin, and during the day you definitely want to use something that has some sort of sun protection factor, and that is those numbers: SPF 15, 20, 30, 50, all of that. You're going to want to use that. You need to use sun protection every day, even if it's cloudy, even if the sun isn't out. Those sun's rays are still getting to you, so use some sort of sun protection. So that's it for the morning. You've got your cleanser, you've got your exfoliator, you've got your moisturizer with your sun protection. And then in the evening, you again are going to want to cleanse, absolutely, because you've got all that stuff on your face from the day. You may have makeup on, and even if you don't wear makeup, you've got all that pollution and dust and dirt and everything. So you cleanse, then you're going to want to use an exfoliator again, or you could replace the exfoliator with a toner. And a toner basically helps to prepare your skin for more skincare ingredients to go on top of it. Toners used to be used to help balance the skin because so many cleansers were really, really harsh and threw your skin out of pH balance. That's not so much the case anymore because so many cleansers are so much more gentle now. So so the whole toner to balance your skin isn't quite as necessary as it used to be. But you can use a toner if you want to. You can go ahead and use an exfoliator again if you want to, if your skin can tolerate that. And then finally, use a moisturizer. And at night, you may want to use a thicker, richer one than you use during the day. And of course, at night, you don't need to use one that has a sun protection factor as part of it. So you're going to want to put that moisturizer on to help protect your skin during the night. Nighttime is great for your skin because that is while you're sleeping, that is when your skin is repairing itself, when it can really put a lot of skincare ingredients to best use, which is why most people have a more extensive skincare routine at night. I'm definitely one of those people. I will do a future video about that because that again, is something where I use more products than just the 3, but if you're just starting from if you're not like me and you are starting from nothing, just start with a very simple, very basic, a small number of products skincare routine, and then you can build up from there. So really, it's as easy as that. I know it seems overwhelming, but just be very simple, be very basic, have a basic understanding of what kind of skin you have. That is something I will definitely go into in a future video, because that can get a little complicated. But I just really recommend that if you just need a basic skincare routine to start with very simple products, and then gauge how your skin is reacting, and you can go from there and figure out if you want to add more things, if you want to address more skincare issues. You know, if you have acne, if you have dry skin, if you have really oily skin, if you have discoloration or redness or whatever the case may be. And that's something that I definitely will go into in the future, because that can get a little complicated. But start with something simple, take care of your skin, and most importantly, remember that skincare starts before you ever put products on your face. It starts with your diet. It starts with keeping well hydrated by drinking a lot of water. Make sure you're drinking a whole lot of water. Just drink water as much as you can, without worrying too much about drinking other stuff. Drink water. So skincare starts with a good diet. It starts with being well hydrated with water. It starts with getting sleep, and it starts with keeping your stress level managed, which I know can be a challenge, especially if you're in a corporate job like I am. That's really frustrating. But really, skincare starts before you do anything with products on your face. It really starts with how you're treating yourself and your body. So keep that in mind. Take care of your diet, drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, and manage those stress levels. And then use a really simple, basic, but effective skincare routine, and you are set to go. So I hope this has been helpful. I really enjoyed doing this research because it really showed me how confusing it can be. So I understand. I have a little more appreciation for those of you who don't know a whole lot about skincare and feel overwhelmed with, where you even start. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned in my last video, you have so many choices for videos here on YouTube, and I just so appreciate that you are here, that you have given me your time, and that you enjoy this content. And please do let me know if there's anything else you would like to go over, whether it be skincare or anything else. Just let me know down in the comments below. Check out that description box for some links that I'm going to leave, with some links to some good articles about basic skincare. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and come back for my next video. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.